Welcome to Garden Tour Saturday. I'm a participant in this collab. Anyone can join. It doesn't matter if you have inside plants, terrariums, whatever, you're welcome. Just use the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday. Now, this is hosted by 4 people, and I will mention them in the description below. So let's get started here. The tomatillas, please help. What is up with these? They keep blooming. They just don't produce any dang thing. They look like they're going to produce, and then nothing happens. So you can see, we'll have a little ball there, and then nothing. Maybe it's looking for cooler weather, which is on its way, so we'll see what happens there. This pepper's still kicking. It's doing really well. I'm getting ready to water over here. We haven't had water in a while. Oh, there's another one of my ladybugs here. So good to see her. I don't know where she went now, but there is something munching there, so maybe she's taking care of that. Thank you. And I do believe this is the French petite, petite gris melon, I believe. They only get like 1 or 2 pounds, and there's a little melon there. We'll see if we get anything before the frost kicks in. I think it's going to be early. Like everyone else is saying, what they're observing, I think it's going to be an early winter, early fall. Now we have some peppers here that are looking good. Looking good. We've got shallots here. Other peppers coming in. My bell. This is producing pretty quickly once it does get a pepper on it. Now a lot of this has been stunted because this was so overgrown. I keep cutting and cutting and cutting, and I'm also hoping that energy will go into the flowers and fruit, but yeah. I'm just not seeing that happen. These shishito peppers, they are so prolific, so it's almost time to come out here and cut a bunch again. I just roast them on a pan and we eat them as is. Over here, remember I think last week I finally saw some little tomatoes on this beast, and they're producing quickly now that they are coming on, and I do see some more flowers, so that's good. This tomato, I don't know if it's ever going to flower. That was a volunteer. We've got these are those patio like Uluru ochre. Haven't had any of those ripen yet. I ate one as a fried green tomato, so I can't attest to the flavor of it really, other than it was good as fried green tomato. And we have some tomatoes here. I've already picked some that are blushing, and I bring them inside. That's a habit I've gotten into, because the bugs are attracted to them, the birds are attracted to them once they turn red. So these sweet potatoes, I'm not seeing any bulging, maybe a little there out of the box, so hopefully I'm not going to ruin my box here. I got some little onions. I just clipped those. I used my onions in, I forget what recipe, sage, and I think these are the bocchinos. They're finally starting to come in, but they'd probably do better elsewhere. It's a little crowded here. But yeah, these sweet potatoes, I can't wait. They're starting to bloom. I've seen some blossoms. Actually, one blossomed right after I cut it, which is crazy. But I don't see any potatoes coming up here. But yeah, this is going to be fun to harvest. Chris has been out here picking these cherry tomatoes, but he can't get them fast enough. I've got some dropping going on down here. Not happy about that, but look at that okra. Let's go in here. Check this out. Chris didn't get to fill a bed last week. We were busy. You know, sometimes you gotta make time for life and living a little bit. Have a good balance. Now look at these. This is how good that soil is, y'all. I've been watering this twice a day generally, depending. And I've got a lot of carrots coming up already. So really happy with how those are progressing. And beets over here. I'm going to have to be thinning those. But look, looks like something's already either irritating them, or it could be my watering in the afternoon that maybe giving them a little burn. But, and these green beans, oh my gosh. Yeah, they should be flowering any time now. So we're at crunch time. But they look way better than the ones in the green stalk. So I'm happy about that. And I did put in some beans. Oh, there's one kind of exposed right there. I put in some beans to fill this. And there's another one right there. So maybe they're getting ready to sprout. They sprout quickly. I only put those seeds in Tuesday. So I think they're getting ready to bust through. They really love that soil. Now over here, I don't know what this is. But yeah, it's starting to get a lot of fruit now. It wanted to crawl into this empty bed, but of course I don't want it to. And we're going to have to move that because we need to take a panel out of that. But yeah, this has been pretty prolific. I can't believe there are twins there. That's funny. Have y'all ever seen twin squash? I have never. But I need to know what this is. So if you know, I mean, looking at growing on Vancouver Island, it almost looks like a spaghetti squash. But I got it in late, so I don't know. There's another one over there. It's kind of just roaming, doing what it wants. But here's some more. So when I was cutting those tomatillas, I was just putting them in here. And they rooted. They took off. But again, thinking about just pulling them up because they're taking off too much. And I've got this tomato here. It's blooming. And look, there's one of those nasty bugs already. So, and they like to get on everything and just take over. It's one of the reasons I do my, take my tomatoes off early. Now this okra is one I made very bare, and it has not really been producing much, but these where I left the leaves on, they've been producing like crazy, and they're getting ready to really explode. I have some okra in here today I need to harvest. And we got some big tomatoes down there, and it's kind of just a jumble mess. If you remember, we were going on vacation, and we decided to redesign our garden at the last minute and utilize this empty, unused space with raised beds. So, and there's a fence here, so it'll keep the deer out. But we were going on vacation, and I had all these plants, so we got this bed filled, and we got new soil and these beds filled again because, I filled them with debris so they sink over time. So we had to put soil in there. And I just kind of threw everything in and we went on vacation. So that's why my tomatoes are way in the back and there's not something shorter in the front. I would never plant this way in an ideal situation. So we're just dealing with it for this year, and it's been fine. I mean, it's not pretty. It's not convenient. It's hard for me to get in there and pick tomatoes with my lame wing. So, but that's okay. Next year will be better. My wing will be repaired and we'll be good. So let's go check out those crazy watermelons. Oh my gosh. And here's some bug-eaten tomatoes that I threw over the fence. And yeah, nothing's eating them. So they're so picky. No gratitude. I swear, it'd be ripe for the crows to take on, but they've been attacking that pear tree over there like crazy. All right, here's the newest watermelon. And here is the giant watermelon. Y'all, this thing. And the bird's like sitting up here apparently. I'm gonna try. Look at this beast, y'all. This thing, it's longer than my leg at this point. It's ridiculous. I'm starting to see some yellowing, but I'm gonna come out here today and get a lot of water on here. Here's the second one over here, kind of hidden. It's about, I don't know. This one's definitely longer than my arm even. But this one, I don't know. Maybe about as long as my thigh. And then we have this other little baby that snuck up on us right here. So again, I'm just putting the chairs over it kind of as a protection because I'm not going to put a fence up out here right now. And that was a stray watermelon. So I had a watermelon last year that I planted it late. Like, oh, let's just stick this in the ground and see what happens. Well, it did produce a melon. And then I really killed it before it was mature because it was just getting out of hand. And it was the end of the season. So I'm really pleased with all the new growth on these blueberry this year. That's great. So I just left it and it came from under the tarp there. So now the figs, they're about done. What we have left is twosies and threesies that are really, really young yet. So we got three there, we got 2 here, 1 there, 4 here. There's 4. But these, they're not as big. The younger ones, we haven't been getting as much rain here lately. So, but they're still tasty, still flavorful. But yeah, you can see they're opportunists. They're hanging out the backside here. But these are pretty much all gone. But yeah. So, the ones that are left, like I said, for the most part, I think this little whirligig thingy has helped. Okay. I guess Chris didn't mow through here. That's weird. That's why I like doing the mowing. I don't know why he wouldn't mow through there. I mow the dang blackberries down and everything. Deer, I guess they've quit munching there. Pawpaw's done. Now these figs are coming on. They're also kind of in the same situation. Now, we had some figs off of this one early in the season, but they're really small. They are tasty. Oh, look at that bunch up there. So they did turn a color. But they were really sweet when they were almost yellow. Somebody's been eating that one. So that's weird. I'll have Chris come out here and grab. At least that top one's done. Your figs, generally, they're ripe when they start flopping over like that. So here's a floppy. Kind of almost. All right. And then the persimmon, they're still persimoning. Persimoning. So I'm ready. I am ready for some persimmons. So see how many are left. I don't see any drops. But yeah, I do still see some up here. It's just not going to be as prolific. It's crazy because I think this year I did do a little fertilizing, but I don't know if I fertilized this tree. Because I didn't want to buy a second batch. Look, it's peach resin. That's the good stuff. Peach gum. I guess you can eat this. It's good for you. Something like that. I don't know. Don't take it from me. But look at this splitting here. Oh no. I don't see any bugs in here per se. But it's not happy. So I'll probably just cut this way back. Way back. I need to get that, need to get the pole saw working. I got an electric pole saw for Chris for his birthday, but he hadn't even started it yet. So, and that was months ago at this point. It's actually in our living room with the oil that came with it. So I'm hoping eventually Chris will put that away. Maybe, if I get lucky. But, yeah. I'll go show you my my little tomato harvest this week. My good ones, not these that I threw out. All right, there's our tomatoes, except for, you know, I did make that green one. And we've had some okra. We've had a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So not too much in the way of harvest. Like, again, we planted late this year. So, but never give up. Never give in. All right, y'all. Take care. Love you very much. Thanks for watching. And have a great weekend. See you later. Bye.